All right, everyone, welcome back. It's been a week. Oh my goodness. It's already Thursday, the July 6th, and I have become a year older since I left you. So, welcome back, everyone. It's nice to see you all again. Sorry, awkward. Trav, Winter Fairy, missed you guys. Not nearly enough to stream while I was on vacation, but here we are. So, once again, we're continuing with Roadwarden. Today's splash screen says animals and humans can be healed with spells, but a master in one field of magic may know nothing about the other. Ooh. Hey, Dragon. Well, welcome in. Glad to have you. Feel free to clean away. I hope that listening to me helps. Yes. Well, I went out of town. That's why it was a long trip, and it was a very good vacation. So in my family, like literally half my family members have birthdays the same week. The June 30th, July 2nd, or July 3rd, and July 4th. And then my nephew has our birthday towards the end of the month. So it's just birthday central in July, around July for my family. And some of us got older while I was away. So it was very good. Oh, we did so many things. I road tripped out of town. I went to medieval times for the very first time. That was the best. I had so much fun. It was everything I had hoped for and more. There was dressage, there was trained horses, there was a falcon involved at one point, which was so beautiful I cried, because every extreme emotion for me is tears, unfortunately. And I had a blast. Saw some fireworks, ate really good food in many places, went and saw the new Indiana Jones movie. You can comfortably forget the Crystal Skull ever happened. This one is everything you need it to be for an indie film. It's a fun ride. Absolutely. And goodness, what else? Yeah, I bought myself the remade Oregon Trail for my birthday. I also got books and new flip flops and new clothes. It was great. I had a grand old time. Got to see one of my sisters. I'm the oldest of four. Saw my nephew, who's always a good time, and met again and met for the first time some of my sister's friends because neither of us are native to the East Coast. So she made friends. I've made friends on Twitch. That's how that's worked. So yes, Winterberry, do it. I mean, they have way more places. Medieval Times has way more places to actually catch a show than they did when I was a kid. Let's put it that way. For a long time, the closest to me when I was still in the Colorado mountains was in California, but apparently there's now one in Oregon, or not Oregon, in Arizona, which is much closer. But even still, Oregon, as in the state, not Oregon, as in a body part. Um, yes. So nostalgia buy, but it was my birthday, so I was like, yes. So for those of you who are in the US, if you saw fireworks on the 4th, which was a Tuesday for everyone else, you already celebrated my birthday with me. You did not miss it. You have not missed it the entirety of your life and possibly mine. So for everybody else, it was just a Tuesday. I apologize. Tuesday was fun. So yeah, I had a grand old time. There was a lot to see. Yeah, sorry, Trav. You poor Brits. It was just a Tuesday for you. Dragon is in the same boat. But yeah, so yeah, vacation was good. Vacation was good. But now we got to get back into Roadwarden. We're at Foggy's. We've done some stuff. We've been some places. We still have. We're gonna sleep, I believe. No, it's the beginning of the day. Never mind. We slept last time. We still have, if my mouse would stop being a bit problematic, we still have the East, the mysteries of the East to go do. So we're gonna start doing that because we've not been doing that, and it's bad time. We have other things that we could do as well. Let's just go take a gander at our journal. We have all these people that we know. We know lots of people, but we still have yet to fully explore the peninsula. We know a lot about it, but we've not really been everywhere. We still have to help others. Ooh, we've helped many people. We've helped the scavenger get to a safe spot. We helped deliver the Mechadent to Akikos, and we've delivered the Empress fish to the Druid. So we even tried to save someone in the bogs. Turned out to be a bird, and then we killed the bird. Stupid bird. We have yet to find this missing Roadwarden. Esteron is still missing. We've been many places. We have yet to find him. I think he's in the middle somewhere. I'm pretty sure he's in the middle. We have not gone on the middle path. We've decided that's a bad time. We just no. The closed tunnel, however, we were working on that. We could probably finish working on it if we wanted to. The Eastern Path, we've not done it. I'll receive dragon bones depending on what I accomplish. So, yeah, we could go talk to Ela about the dolmen in the south, but I don't care as much. Glaucia's band, we've not found them either. To be fair, I think they're in the east somewhere, but they basically pick on White Marshes because White Marshes is creepy AF. Not gonna lie. Oh, that's right, Trav. He did like it. We actually think he took a boat and left. He bought a boat and was like, I'm out. Bitches, I'm out. So we don't know where he is. He's gone. He's just gone. He's just gone. Healing the plague. We know how. But we need to go talk to the enchantress in the east, which we've never actually met. So there's that. Matchmaking. We've done everything except go to, let's see, I've helped Paulus. I've helped, I actually think we need to go talk to Paulus. I think that's all we have left. Yeah, I think we have to just be like, hey, Paulus, are you cool with doing things according to the ancestors in Howler's Dell? Which I'm sure Paulus is going to be like, I'm down. It's cool. We're good. I know a little bit about the missing hunters. I know the start of one of them, but they're still missing. There's the necromancer. He's necromancy. I don't think he's a bad dude. I honestly don't. He's a little weird. But I don't think he's a bad dude. I just think he's weird. Read the letter. We need to figure out how to read the letter. We probably need to go to the monastery for this. Who knows what we'll find in that letter. The recruit a hunter, we still have to find more about the Aristos. We have apparently not talked to everyone about it. Ruined village. I don't really know what. Oh, I think we have to get enough money to clear out the goblins in the ruined village. I think that's what we're still working on. The gobos are still there. I suppose we could try to kill them ourselves, but I don't think that's really like it. And there's also the field. The just strangely desolate field. We've not finished that either. Spirit Rock. Photios wants help from the Enchantress. He wants us to buy a Spirit Rock. We actually think that it might kill Phoebe. We've learned elsewhere. It's not good. Support Howler's Dell. Yeah, Deus wants us to talk to her about the things that we've learned, but we've not learned all the things yet, so. And then the Swamp Altar. We've done some stuff. There's been some hugging, some kissing, some feeding it our own health and well-being, and we can spirit rock it as well. So that's what we're up to. We've finished all of these. We've finished a fair few, but not everything. So I think today we've eaten. We're good. We're good. We're good as we can be. We're fairly clean actually, and what do we have? What money? We have no monies. We do have a bone ring. While similar to a dragon ring, it's of an uneven shape and lacks the distinctive grooves that are present in coins, so it most likely belonged to a furry beast. It was meant to be worn on a large finger. The decorative carvings show a fish on one side and scales on the other, though they're rather simple. Could we sell it? That is interesting. We still have this cask of cider, which we tried to. I might have some things I'm willing to part with. Nope. Is there anything I want to buy? I would love to buy this cloak, but no, I don't have the coins for that. All right, we're time to get out of here. Nice spicy cheeky sandwich. Yum yum yum. I have nothing to say to the foragers, so we're just gonna go. Okay, we could go to the northern road and attempt to deal with the monkeys again. Maybe set up our fish trap. Check out the area for a missing thing. We could just immediately go east. I know we've got some bits and bobs of running around. Or we could finish up the old tunnel, since we have a whole day this time, and make it a little faster to get to Gale Rocks again. What do we think? Tunnel, road, east. That's the vote. We're starting off the vote with tunnel, road, east. I need at least 3 people to participate in this vote. Pretty please. I would appreciate it. Tunnel, road, east. 1, 2, or 3. Numbers or keywords, you tell me. The vote has started off with tunnel. Whatever the majority is, we will go with that. Tunnel is in the lead. I know you want to jump in on this. Sorry, awkward. I know you do. It's been a week. Tunnel is adventure. Let's go have an adventure. We're having an adventure. To the tunnel. So, a gust of wind catches you by surprise, and a shiver runs down your spine. A small, creamy, brown critter jumps along the rocks, giving you worried looks. All right. Enter the tunnel we shall go. You feel the gentle movement of humid air. So, we could go back to the sleeping chamber. We could go back to the animal pen. We can move forward, or we can go as deep into the tunnel as we can, which I believe just puts us all the way back here. Eat critter. Sadly, not on my list of options. So are we just going to move forward, or are we going to go all the way to the place that we explored already? 1 or 2? Move forward or deep? Forward or deep? 1 or 2? Forward or deep? Let's go, chat. 1 or 2? Forward or deep? You tell me. What will it be? I'm waiting on thee to tell me what to do. Because I've been on vacation for a week and decisions are hard. So you're saying deep. Sorry. The vote is for the deep. Who else agrees or disagrees? I don't either. I'm happy with either. Please tell me. Tell me, chat. What am I doing? Forward or deep? Trav says go slow, move forward. I have a vote for deep and I have a vote for forward. Winter Fairy, you wanna break the tie? The difference is that essentially right here where you can see this water, this impression of water, there are other directions to go. So if I go forward, I'm like moving forward slowly and I can decide to go to one place or another. If I go as deep into the tunnel as I can, it means I go straight back to where we stopped in the tunnel. I am aware of that. Sorry, awkward. But this is to get chat back into the habit of voting, not necessarily that I will be doing the entirety of this tunnels by chat's decision making. I'm just trying to get you guys back into the habit because it's been a week, and I miss talking to you guys. Come on. So I guess we're just going deep. That is the decision. So the path forward is blocked. I can now take a closer look at the cave-in. You push away a few rocks, making them roll on the floor, but the blockade is at least a few steps deep. It would take an entire team of diggers to get through, if it's possible at all. You climb up a bit and peek through a larger hole close to the ceiling. There's a weak light coming from the distant end in the tunnel. All right, so this is blocked. I step away. I'm going to return to the stream then, because that will be the only way through. So the flow mercifully carves its path through the mountain. I will follow the water. Aha. The corridors become less spacious after just a few steps, but you manage to take a good look around, moving both with and against the flow. The wet walls are home to worms, mold, and what looks like pale spiders, though with only 6 legs. Among the commotion, you spot a cave ear sticking out of the wall. A familiar, though unfriendly mushroom, the creamy color distorted by your light. You grab your knife and cut away what seems like the least bug-infested chunk, and after wrapping it with a linen sheet, you wash your hands. The cave ear is used by some fighters to enhance their senses in combat. You may want to take it to an alchemist. Ooh. I head to the exit. Yep. So it looks like unless I find people to help clear that blockage, I cannot actually use this to go straight through. So back to Soda Pop we go. Soda Pop is looking around, but so far no other beasts have shown up. Cool. Well, that's all we can do for now. We could go to Gale Rocks and see if we can't get that cleared, I suppose. But I don't really want to go to Gale Rocks. Tech with them. I'm going to the Northern Road. Look at this. I'm making a decision myself. I didn't skip any of the side passages, Trav, I promise. Oh, sorry, awkward. You are a gremlin and I like you a lot. There's hardly any wind. The lake smells of reeds and wet. The howlers gather as you approach their tree. The tallest of them are hanging from the branches, while a few larger ones get on the ground, observing you from the tall grasses. So, I have, just in case I plug my ears, I try to scare the howlers away, or I spend some time setting up a fish trap at the bank. What shall we do? I do have to deal with the monkeys because I cannot look for the hunters unless the monkeys have gone away. So, 1, 2, or 3, chat, what will it be? Are we going to attempt this challenge without putting in our earplugs, or are we going to plug our ears like smart people? Or are we just gonna set up a fish trap and be like, I need fish? though the monkeys might steal it. So we should probably be aware of that. The vote has been started with number 1, plug my ears. Because they loud. Stupid monkeys. They're called howlers for a reason. We have them in real life. They are very loud. Sorry, Awkward says fish trap. So, I have a vote for plug ears and a vote for fish trap. Trav, break the tie. If it's an option, we do it. That way they can sneak up on us. I mean, they're loud enough. I don't know. They may not be able to sneak up on us. I have a feeling that they're just going to be like the whole time. But apparently we're plugging our ears. So here we go. You stick the wool into your ears. The first touch is soft, but as you push more of it inside, the plugs keep falling out and distract you with the newly muffled sounds. The howling gets less intrusive, but as long as you have ears, some of it will reach you. All right. Gonna try and scare away the howlers now because we have preventative measures, some preventative measures. You're yards away from the closest tree. The howlers are climbing, swinging, browsing the leaves, and seeking bugs in the meadow. Only a few of them pay attention to you. You could start with an attack from a distance, but there's no way for you to take down an entire pack. The best you can hope for is scaring them off. So, do we just use the crossbow and start shooting them? Do we throw rocks? Or do we get closer? Or do we just forget this? I don't suggest number 4. We are trying to find someone after all. 1, 2, 3, 4. What will chat decide? Crossbow, rocks, closer. You want to be mean to the monkeys, Winter Fairy. You wanna shoot monkeys out of a tree. That doesn't seem nice. I thought we wanted to save some animals. Thought we were nice. I'm just teasing you, Winter Fairy. You can decide whatever you want, but I have a vote for the crossbow. So, what does the rest of chat think? Crossbow, rocks, or closer? Or leave? 1, 2, 3, or 4. What we doing, chat? What we doing? That's more like it, Winter Fairy. Okay, I have a vote for rocks. Cast rocks. Throw rocks. 2, throwing rocks would annoy them, but not hurt them. Hurting them would be very angry. Also, we like animals. We do. We're pagan. We are all about the natures. We like the animals and the trees and the bushes, and we don't like making them mad, but these howlers are annoying. We rarely use crossbows. This would be a good time. Sorry, you've been outvoted. Sorry, Awkward. We're gonna cast rocks at them. Oh boy. Your poor aim makes you hit the trunk, drawing the monkey's attention. They howl even louder, pointing at you and jumping between branches. Your rocks didn't hurt them much. They stay still thanks to their tails and cover their faces with their hands. The largest ones land on the grass. All right, here we go. The confused howlers step back, not sure why you are not running away. All right. So, do we shout at the monkeys and swing our arms, or do we confront them? Do we just go whack a monkey? We can't do. We don't have anything that would scare them. So, 1 or 2. Shout or confront. That is the trope, Trav. Yes. We yell at them. They yell back at us. You see this in such action-adventure movies as George of the Jungle, The Mummy, just that kind of movie. Are they both Brendan Fraser movies? Yes. Is this a trope of Brendan Fraser? Yes. Do we love, and respect Brendan Fraser? Always. Also, The Mummy is an amazing movie, and I've wanted to be a librarian my whole life because of it. Am I ever going to become a librarian? No. All right. Looks like the ones have it, even if Sorry Awkward says otherwise. I will shout at the monkeys and swing my arms. Your shout is overshadowed by the furious howls. The monkeys take the first few steps forward. Time for the confrontation. We tried. We tried. You get dizzy, but try to keep your movements swift and confident. The muffled sounds, while annoying, remain on the edge of your senses. You leap forward, reaching for the shield and the axe. You clash with one of the creatures, and the weapon lands on its shoulder. Your axe cuts fairly deep. The beast jumps away screaming, then tries to get away on its three other limbs. You make a few dangerous swings, keeping the other beasts at a distance. They try to surround you, but you manage to keep up with them, and the shield helps you focus on the more vulnerable parts of your defense. You are in control. Yes, the shield is a good investment. Next opponent. You look around, then duck. Another creature tries to jump at you from your left. The monkeys are determined to get to you, led more by their fury than fear. There's no chance you could face them in a fair fight. All right, we out. You get into the saddle, followed by the angry shouts. Soda Pop is more than ready to flee. Its ears are held back, nostrils wrinkled. You wonder if it suffers from the howls. Well, I can't ride forward, so we must travel. We do not have what we need to deal with the monkeys. All right. That leaves the east. We're going to the east. Let's go to the foraging grounds real quick. I've decided. As far as you can tell, none of the nearby mushrooms can be trusted. Even the ants avoid them. You don't spot any larger predators. And since the area is free of beasts, we spend some time foraging. Why not? You let Soda Pop keep itself busy while you walk around looking for anything edible. It takes a fair bit of time, but you don't plan to carry around raw mushrooms and bugs, and the wild vegetables need to be washed before you put them in your bags. You finally find a few handfuls of plants, fruits, and nuts. Next time, however, it's not going to be so easy. The area has already been cleaned by other foragers. Well, that's fair. Well, we got some food, so let's go. Yeah, well, sadly, Trav, none of that was things I could do. I really wish I had Shield Bash. I would have Shield Bashed the bonk out of those darn monkeys, those howlers, but unfortunately, it was not an option. The only tracks in sight belong to small critters. The cabin has no window, but a stubborn beast could easily burst in through the old thatch. The gust of wind doesn't move the door. A curious ibex observes you from the crag, but flees from your gaze. Oh, we have a cabin. Let's check it out. You tether Soda Pop to the supporting beam. Its curious eyes are tracking the crickets that jump along among the grass blades. You stretch your limbs, adjust your armor, and reach for the axe. Do we just burst in, going, ha ha? Or do we eavesdrop first and check out if there's anything inside? One or two, burst in or eavesdrop. Winter Fairy has started off the vote with 2, eavesdrop. What does the rest of chat want me to do? You better get your votes in quick, sorry, awkward. Otherwise, you can't tie it. Looks like the 2s are in charge. Oh, sorry, awkward. Until there are more people in my chat, it looks like you will always be outvoted. You best bug your friends to get in here and help you. Let's eavesdrop first. You sneak towards the door and crouch down. After maybe a minute, a quiet rattle comes from the inside. Something similar to the sound of cracking knuckles. You peek inside and just barely see a small part of the dusty room. A large spider web is spread among the knocked down furniture. So, are we going crossbow? Are we going to grab our axe and shield? Or should we just get the F out of here? This is the time for the arachnophobics amongst us to maybe go do something else for a minute. Winter Fairy says crossbow. That is the start of the vote. What does the rest of chat think? Winter Fairy, you may be amused right now that I have a Stray Kids song stuck in my head. Just FYI. Crossbow at melee range? Never. Axe and shield. Or better yet, flaming torch. We actually, I think, want to keep the spider silk. So flaming torch, the spider silk, not a good idea. We want it. Well, you are very brave, Winter Fairy, which, for anyone who does not quite recall, bravery is not the absence of fear, but being afraid and doing it anyway. So, we're very brave indeed. I appreciate you confronting your fears in my game. I have to do it a lot with the B word myself because and have not at once gotten bitchy about it. So, we're doing well really with our phobias here. We are both brave. But yes, so I have a vote for one and a vote for two. So sorry, awkward. I'm assuming you're going to vote for three and make me make this decision because there is one vote for three people. Ugh. Hmm. Hmm. Your keyboard is not broken. You just were not using it. You are busy doing other things. It is fine. Um, and if your keyboard is broken, you should get that looked at. Like maybe replace that keyboard or the particular keys that are problematic. Whichever. I'm gonna go with the axe and shield because I ain't no fool. And yeah, that seems sensible for a small space. Oh boy, here we go. Notice how there is not art of the spider on screen, just its web. So we only have to read about it. That's all we got to do. A spider looks at you from the center of the web. Its shell is larger than your head, and the thin legs are longer than your arms. Its countless hair blends in with the walls. They're brown, gray, and cream. What do you do? Let me think. What do you do? Okay. We get to actually try things, chat. So, suggestions on what to type. Please tell me, what should I do? For example, I could kick the spider. I could chop the spider. I could perhaps try the shield bash. We knock politely and ask if it's heard the good word of the right, and then it says no and we run. We're not a member of the right. I believe you only get one shot at this, so good luck. Nope, run. We run. Oh, Winter Fairy. Technically speaking, I could quick save right now and reset this. Just load up on this screen if we do badly. So, I'm not gonna run because I want the spider's web. I want the web. How do I deal with the spider? We don't have any other people, Trav. There's us and Soda Pop. Do we really want the spider to eat Soda Pop? We should have used the crossbow. You may be right, Winter Fairy. You may, in fact, be right. We should have just shot it. All right, I will type shoot. No. You left the crossbow by your saddle. You could instead charge the monster with your melee weapon. Yes, I attack it with my axe, or do we try something else? I tried. Sorry, awkward. Okay, let's go axe it a question, shall we? Because that Futurama reference never gets old. Oh, here we go. You rush forward and the spider skitters off, shaking the entire web. You fail to avoid its spit. The sticky ooze hits your eyes, covering them like a glued cloth. Do we drop our weapon and clean our eyes? Swing our blade left and right without pause. Wait for the spider to approach, then dash at it fiercely. Drop our weapon and grab the spider with our bare hands, or use the force. I don't have time to clean my eyes. Apparently the forced option does not do anything. So Winter Fairy wants us to swing our blade left and right without pause. So, swing, dash, grab. 1, 2, or 3. Swing, dash, grab. 1, 2, or 3. What will it be? We have a vote for swing. Trav says swing. Swing, swing. For a completely different and much older reference. Anyone who enjoyed the Wayne's World movie knows what I'm talking about. Looks like we are going to swing our blade left and right without pause. Just swing, swing. All right. You cut the air at knee height, but somehow the creature reaches your side. Your calf gets pierced by the spear-sharp leg. Your heart beats faster, yet you keep control over your limbs and remain standing. The next swing lands. The sack of flesh smacks the floor and clicks in agony. You hear only your own heart and the chirping of the insects outside. You're getting sweaty. Your eyelids can't even blink. You drop the axe on the floor, then sit on the threshold blindly. Do we watch out for our eyes but act quickly, harshly pulling at the ooze, or remove it gently bit by bit? So, do we scrub our eyes fast, or do we try to get the gunk out of our eyes more gently? Fast or gently? One or two. Fast or gently? Yeah, wrestle it. It worked with the burb. It did work with the burb. That burb. Ugh. Winter Fairy wants to get the gunk out of her eyes fast, which is gonna hurt. Trav says that might be a bad idea. We might lose eyebrows or eyelids because it's sticky. What's it gonna be? Sorry, awkward. One or two? Fast or gentle? Which, for those of you whose minds went immediately to the gutter, is also how it is. You know, by tomorrow, I'm going to assume that your keyboard has been fixed and you're going to have to participate anyway. I'm going to go gentle. Oh no, we finally have pictures of this spider. The saliva clings tightly to your skin, but stretching it with your fingers helps. The eyelids are the worst part, but you're grateful for your reflexes. At least you still have eyes. You get to see the light slowly, then the shapes. The thing turns out to be gray and white. You stand up and look around. The room is covered with a thick layer of dust. Getting through the web could be risky. A single thread won't stop you, but a bunch of them could grapple you for good. So do we drag the spider carcass away and throw it into the forest? Do we not have much time, so we light a candle and melt the web? Someone could be interested in such thick web, and we spend an hour or so gathering it, or do we just leave? Personally, we've got 7 hours to while away. I actually would like to collect this web because I don't know where else we will collect it, to be quite frank. Speeder don't bother me none. Hey, Dragon, how was cleaning? Did you get it all done? I'm sorry you had to listen about spiders. I know that you're not a big fan of them either. Well, I'm gonna get the web. You bring a twig from the outside and use it as a spool. You don't have much practice, and wearing the gloves makes the necessary gestures even more awkward. From time to time, the silk breaks, but it shouldn't be a problem for a tailor. It's a material for stitching and wouldn't be turned into a cloth anyway. You notice maybe a dozen defenseless spiderlings. They flee towards the exit, but with their speed limited by their tiny legs. They're smaller than a finger. Do we trample them with our boot, or do they have a right to live? This is the point in time where it's chats up. We can either save the spiderlings because they have a place in this world, or we can kill them with prejudice because spiders. Winter Fairy, even with arachnophobia, is going, they have a right to live. What does the rest of chat want? I wish we could, Trav, but keeping spiders happy and fed and stuff is sometimes a little bit difficult. But we could try. We could absolutely try. I mean, if the game lets me. That's 2 votes for let them live. Anybody else want to weigh in? Or have a compelling reason why I should kill them with prejudice? Well, sorry, Awkward, you've been outvoted. They have the right to live. The creatures crawl over the threshold and disappear among the grass blades. It could be the first time they've ever been touched by the sun. All right, I'm going to search the building because that seems like the adventurous thing to do. We found this building. We're going to see if there's anything good in here. A chest hides a few old water skins and inedible stale rations. Among them, however, you find 2 quarrels for a crossbow. The bones have no obvious owner, but judging from their age and the lack of skull or human-like hands, you doubt they could be awoken by the fogs. The boots, rugged pants, an old sticky tunic, and other scraps are cheap and hide no jewelry. The bowls and mugs are empty. Do we want to drag the carcass away in case somebody wants to live in this place someday? Or do we just leave it there? Are we going to clean up the carcass, or are we just going to leave it in the building and let the next thing be scared by a dead spider? I have a vote for let's just leave. Drag it out, something will eat it. Yeah, that's totally fair. And, maybe somebody else will want this cabin. What do you think, sorry, Awkward? Is your keyboard still broken? It might be. Yeah. Nah, we're gonna be useful. We'll drag it into the woods. You put on your thick gloves and grab 4 spider legs at once. The corpse isn't heavy, so you drag it behind you. You reach the bushes on the edge of the road, then lift up the entire creature. The more you shake it, the more distracting the twitches of its legs get. You send it into a tree trunk. It sinks into the thicket, causing a bit of a rustle among the dwellers. All right, well, that is the cabin done. We don't really need to go back there for anything more, but we found the cabin. Uninhabited. Nobody lives in there, but, maybe Foggy might be interested in it. I don't know. Onward to the east we go. Actual eastern exploration. The gentle road leads uphill, getting more rocky and bright as the trees grow sparse. Just in case, your eyes run towards a few drier parts of the meadow, and you instantly shout at Soda Pop to make haste. A pack of short-haired wolves, at least 20 members strong, is chasing after you. Their coats are a mixture of yellow, black, and white spots, as if someone threw mud and paint at them. They move towards the road with a human-like speed, and you realize only some of them run straight at you. They're trying to cut through my path! Oh no! If it wasn't for your palfrey, the beast would have already caught up with you. Their trap was perfectly set up, not leaving you any path of escape. Your terrified mount is disciplined enough to stay on the beaten path, and even though one of the big-eared wolves almost sinks its teeth into your mount's thigh, you manage to squeeze between the hunters. For the next few minutes, you do your best to get further away, and while your gallop is indeed faster, the wolves easily shorten the distance by moving through the sparse forest. You cross a weird river bridge made of a stone slab, but the chase doesn't stop yet. Maybe I have something I could use here. You think about your sacks and bundles, but the pack won't wait for you to sort through things. The group gets larger the further you go, as even more of its members, previously hidden among the rocks and grasses, now join the hunt, allowing their tired family members to slow down. You may be able to lose them after some time, but scaring or wounding some of them may force them to give up on their prey sooner. We have a crossbow, so we could decide that we're just going to keep running, or we could crossbow. I have a vote for crossbow. What does the rest of chat think? How are we going to get out of this tense situation with wolves? Winter Fairy's like, crossbow, let's go. So, sorry, awkward. Are you gonna? We just got some corals. Time to use them. Actually, we don't even know how many we have now. We've got a ton. We've got the spider silk. We've got 8. We're almost back up to our 9. We've got a caviar. Nice. All right. Crossbow. You reach for the drawn crossbow and a bolt. Then lock your sights on the closest creature. You wait until you learn its rhythm, then shoot once it's in midair. The arrow flies through the wolf's flesh, causing it to let out a pained cry and plunge to the ground. Its concerned allies howl with fear and anger. While a few of them try to keep up, many more stay behind and surround their pack member, protecting it from potential threats. After another few minutes, you are alone again, this time on the crossroads at the foot of a watchtower. Soda Pop is tired but patient, more happy to survive than it is angry at your wanderlust. At least you can hope the pack will move to a different place during the night. I let it rest for a bit and look around. While the hills are full of life, you don't hear anything coming from the watchtower. Its upper level lacks a wooden platform from which the guards could fire their crossbows or drop stones on opponents below, so this place was not meant to be used in combat, but rather as a shelter from claws and fangs. Such structures can be found in especially untamed parts of the Dragonwoods, used occasionally by travelers or patrolling squads since the end of the war. The cities can't find enough people and dragon bones to keep them in good shape. You see no footsteps, no lights, no fresh trash or a latrine. The birds are preening their feathers on top of the tower, while the branches of nearby trees are swaying on the fierce cold wind. So we could approach the entrance. We could take a look at the signpost. We could walk to the gate. We could check to see if there's maybe something interesting among the spruce trees, or we could examine the campfire spot at the fence. What shall we do? I have a feeling we're going to be able to do multiple things, but 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, chat. Entrance, signpost, gate, trees, campfire. Winter Fairy wants to look at the signpost. Number 2. What does the rest of chat want to do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Entrance, signpost, gate, trees, campfire. You tell me, chat. What we doing? Sorry Awkward says top to bottom. Trav says campfire. You guys are leaving it up to me again. This is unforgivable. I just got back from vacation. Be nice. I'm going to do the signpost first, just because I can. The planks and letters are damaged by decades of rains, frosts, borers, and claws. You scratch off some of the moss. There are 3 planks on the signpost, each one pointing in a different direction. The letters don't tell you anything. The plank on the top points both south and north, but there are no pictures that could tell you anything more than that. The one beneath it points east, and there's a word written in blue paint. The arrow here looks more like a magic wand. The bottom plank has a picture of a tall tower surrounded by little houses and points west. The wood is covered in red paint, suggesting danger. All right, good to know. I'm going to look at the trees. It must be a human-made corpse. Oh. Only the smallest of the spruces are out of order, born of wild seeds. The largest trees are as tall as the tower itself, which surely doesn't help those who are meant to observe their surroundings. There are also some stumps, most of which used to belong to young saplings. These trees were likely meant to be sold to carpenters and coopers, but they were left alone many years ago. In the corpse, you find wild fennel and lettuce thriving in shadows. There are pears and berries growing among the nearby trees and shrubs. Oh, heck yeah, we are foraging. Heck yeah. Soda Pop grazes at the fence while you cross the short meadows, seeking edible leaves of fennel, sorrel, and lettuce that hide in the shadows of the spruce trees, forcing you to get on your knees and push the branches away. After some time, with needles in your hood and sleeves, you carry the vegetables to the gate, washing them with your water skin and spreading them on a blanket, allowing them to dry up. As you pick the very few remaining pears and berries, you notice a wide tree hollow. You take a look inside and find a stash of acorns and chestnuts, but also hazelnuts and walnuts. So, do we take more food or do the squirrels need them more than us? Do we take the nuts or do we leave the nuts? One or two, chat, you tell me. What will it be? Take the nuts, leave the nuts. Are we nuts about nuts or are we not so nuts about nuts? Winter Fairy says two. Leave them for the squirrels. What does the rest of chat think? Trav, you are quite correct. Squirrels do tend to forget most of what they stash. They do not have the biggest of brains, but they do try. Um, so I believe that's the second vote for two. Squirrels will need them. Sorry, awkward. Do you have a compelling vote why we should take all the foods? Or I should say a compelling reason. One time a squirrel bit my sister. Okay. Well, I'm so sorry for your sister. I hope she didn't lose any fingers to the nasty squirrel. But yeah, can't we just take some? No, because that would be silly. Yeah, no. Well, we're just gonna leave the squirrels their stashes. All right, time to look at the entrance. You take a look at Soda Pop. If necessary, it could bow its head and walk inside. This place should be a decent shelter for both of you. The planks are strong, heavy, well protected from rain and wind, and when you knock, they seem to be thick. While the door shakes at your push, it won't open. Defensive structures usually have a locking bar on the inner side, but you also see a large keyhole. You walk around the tower, making sure there's no open windows or other entrances. It doesn't look like you can get in without destroying the door, and doing so is going to make a potential entryway for wild creatures. Well, I'm gonna look through the keyhole. I want to see what I can see on the other side. Look, I'm making decisions. You kneel down and take a peek. There's nothing in the hole, but the room is dark with tiny bits of light passing through the crevices of the windows. You see the shapes of wooden furniture, like tables, casks, and a ladder, but the only movement you notice belongs to the dust dancing in the sunbeams. I will attempt to use the key from Gale Rocks. See if it works. Hey, it goes in smoothly, and after a bit of fidgeting, you find the right spot. You hear the heavy mechanism giving in to your will, followed by the creaking of rusty hinges. An empty table stands in the middle of a large, round room filled with dusty furniture. Without the open door, you'd struggle to see anything. I wait and make sure there's nothing trying to jump on me. The first thing you notice is that the room isn't high, and just like the windows suggested, there's the second floor above it. The scent sparks an image of a cellar, humid but without much mustiness. Tree stumps used as stools surround a round table in the center, now covered in dust. The shelves are empty, with no tools left behind, and you see a couple of dishes lying in various spots, empty, sticky. The bugs are crawling both on the furniture and near the walls. Spiders, roaches, worms. You think about taking a look into one of the casks, but the smell coming from it makes you change your plans. Instead, you climb up the ladder. The view there isn't much different. The floor is covered with pieces of trash, dirty furniture, and sleeping pallets, which are moist, smelly, and full of wriggling and chirping creatures. So, do we not care about the bugs, or do we absolutely care about the bugs? This place needs a thorough cleaning, that's for certain. Winter Fairy says we absolutely care about the bugs. Ugh. What does the rest chat think? No, we did not break in. We used our key from Gale Rocks. It seemed to work. Could try to smoke them out, but I'm not sure it's worth digging around, which probably means there's an amazing treasure here. Probably tinnitus. Tetanus. 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 I can read. I can. I promise. Yeah, we got the key in Gale Rocks for the mines. Um and apparently it works on this tower as well. So we had a key. So we opened it with a key. Do we still have the key? I don't know. Let's find out. Keys. Yep, we have a key to the secret passage in the dolmen, and we have an iron key to the abandoned watchtower. Look at that. We got it all. So the vote is: do we not care about the bugs that are infesting this place because it's been abandoned for a while, or do we very much care about the bugs? The vote started with we very much care about the bugs. What does the rest of chat think? Bugs or no bugs? One or two? One, assert dominance. So, Trav, one or two? Go dig. All right. I don't care about some bugs. I just need to ignore them. You climb down. Soda Pop is looking at the grass outside, still touched by sunlight. You approach the windows, each one locked with two heavy wooden bars. Opening them would not be a problem, but knocking them down from the outside won't be an easy task. You sigh with relief. It's a safe place. Following the clue from old Pegos, I look for anything that Esteron could have left behind. You start to move around all sorts of furniture, light and heavy, amongst various pieces of garbage that you have to push aside. You find something unusual in the space between one of the pallets and the wall, an old molding wax tablet. There are some writings inside it. Other than that, the place seems to be empty, unless you count broken pottery and ragged clothes. For now, I hide it in my bag and put everything back in its place. Time to wash my hands. You're at the ground floor of the watchtower. Dozens of little creatures run away from the new source of light. Well, we don't have anything that would help us get rid of these bugs because we were broke when we went to White Marshes. Um, let's walk to the gate. Setting up a firm wall in a place like this is a bit unusual. It goes on for no more than 40 feet until it connects with a natural rock face. Such a structure could be found near the city, acting as a checkpoint at which to stop any travelers to search through their belongings or request a fee. But in the middle of nowhere? Deer and other animals used to running here with no hindrance must have been more than annoyed, a risky investment. You touch the gate made of a high quality wood, previously soaked in oil, now mostly wiped off. It was left open, and you don't see any wooden bar that would be used to lock it. You try to move the cold planks, buried in the dried out mud, but with no luck. It would require some wearying digging. All right. Well, I'm pretty sure this is the other entrance slash exit for the center road that we've avoided at all costs. I imagine the campfire spot. Examine the campfire spot at the fence. You see a shattered bowl, the remains of a meal from many years ago. However, the firewood and the lonely stool are not too old. You don't doubt that the watchtower seems less threatening to wayfarers than the wilderness around it, even when it's locked. All right. We have 4 hours before dusk. And we've got places we could go. I'm pretty sure that this tower links up with the gate on the other side. We can go this way. We can go more east or we can go south. Um, the only reason why the dolmen is saying that travel time is 9 hours and 45 minutes because it's going all the way around. All the way around. We have not found the route to it. It's not quite late enough in the day for us to stay at this tower. We can explore at least one more place, and if we need to, we can backtrack to the abandoned watchtower and sleep there. So, east or south? We're not we're not going west. We know that that's a death trap. Looks about right. South, and I hope it connects quickly to somewhere to sleep. I mean, we could sleep in the dolmen as well. Winter Fairy says east. East might be the enchantress. She's somewhere in the east. We haven't found her yet. Yeah, it doesn't say that you can. It just says provide shelter, but we can backtrack to the abandoned watchtower, which we can sleep in. But if we go south, we might be able to connect to Pelt to the north, or even Tulia's camp. One or the other. I don't think we can sleep at her place. I think we'll have to backtrack to the tower, which is fine. But we have enough time in the day to explore one more place. So, east or south? I have 2 votes for east. So, Trav, east or south? Because west is a death trap. That much we know for certain. South, connected up. Well, east won, so we're going to see the enchantress at the end of the day. Let's go. The first part of the trail is narrow and overgrown. The steep crag in the south divides the lush forest in half. You barely recognize any shapes in the entanglement of grays, browns, and greens. The northern landscape, while similarly impenetrable, is the exact opposite. The meadows turns into barren hills and mountains, barely covered by grass and bushes. Maybe the riding ibexes of the clanspeople from the growing mountain would get through such a barrier, but there are no clans here. Interesting. Cool. That's cool. The picture is so big they needed a way to for you to see it. The road leads you downhill to the edge of a lake. The clearing around the dwelling is quiet, with no crickets, flies, or even toads. The grass is not even knee high. There are no signs of a wharf or boats. The wall wasn't coated and has already been bitten by winds and rain. I look for an entrance. Ah, it moved. Right next to the gate, a gargoyle, or a stone-like look-alike, kneels on a slab. It's dark purple, almost black, with yellow pointy teeth. Though its half-open mouth has no tongue and the creature doesn't move even an inch, the eyes have been replaced by crystals, red like currant juice. Do we knock on the gate? Do we call, "Anyone home?" Do we touch the gargoyle, or do we push the gate? 1, 2, 3, or 4. Knock, call, touch, push. You guys know the drill. Numbers or keywords, I will take either. Winter Fairy says 1, knock. Trav says 2, polite, and we might get an answer from the gargoyle. 2 is call. I have a vote for 1 and a vote for 2. Sorry, awkward. What do you want us to do? I have a feeling he's going to pick 3. Yep, I called it. 3, touch the gargoyle, assert dominance. Which means that I am left with checking the vote unless Dragon wants to come in for the tiebreaker and tell me 1, 2, or 3. I feel called out. Hey, look, it's not my fault that you're predictable. You have stated that is your intention many times, is to tie the vote so that I must choose. But I could still be saved by Dragon if he wants to jump at his computer really quick and be like 1, 2, or 3. I'll give him a mo. Just in case. He's my savior. Nope, not gonna be saved. Alright. I'm gonna call out. Anyone home? Your voice is welcomed by the screeching of dozens of avian throats. They take off from behind the wall, heading toward the lake. After a few breaths, the eyes of the gargoyle grow brighter. Trav called it. What's with all the ape shouts? You lost? The words are coming from the monster's mouth, though it remains still. Stand in front of me. I want to see a mug. The drawling voice belongs to a woman, but is lined with unnatural creaking. I step closer. The eyes don't rotate nor blink. So, who are ye? Do we answer friendly? I'm Salaron, the new Roadwarden. I hope you're having a great day. Do we speak playfully? I must say, as a Roadwarden, I've seen some disgusting beasts, but you surely have the kindest voice of them all. Are we distanced? I'm Salaron, the new Roadwarden. Are we intimidating? I'm the new Roadwarden, and I value my time. Let's speak face to face. Or are we vulnerable? I introduce myself. I'd like to ask you a few questions if that's fine with you. Winter Fairy says distanced. The neutral answer. What does the rest of chat think? 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5? Friendly, funny, friendly, playful, distanced, intimidating, or vulnerable? What shall it be? One, two, three, or 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Friendly, playful, distanced, intimidating, vulnerable. Trav says 5, not for vulnerable, but for it being fairly polite and letting her know we want to chat. It's a good point, Trav. It's a good point. I have a vote for 3, and I have a vote for 5. What do you think, Sorry Awkward? What should I do? Winter Fairy still says 3. Your vote's already in, my dear. 3. I've never tied a vote in my life. Oh, that's funny. Sorry, Awkward. I called you out, and now you're going to play along. All right. I'm Salron, the new Roadwarden. I see. A short pause. I don't leave my house often, but I may have a job for a traveler. You know who I am, right? Naturally or no, I'm just looking around. We know. I'm not even going to lie. Naturally. What do you call her? Actually, do we know her name? That is a good question. Journal. Dang it. I think we've heard her name. I don't know what it is, though. Ah, Eudocia. That's what it is. Yes. Eudocia. Cool. Eudocia. Trixie, the local herbalist. You're funny, Trav. You're very funny. Humans? No, I'm gonna call her by her name. Short pause. Well, at least you're respecting the hour instead of interrupting my work. Remember, I meet with people only in the evenings or the early mornings. Wait where you are, we're opening the gate. The monster's eyes darken again. Soon after, you hear heavy steps and the earth shakes. Something lifts the beam blocking the gate. You realize that your hand is already on the haft of your axe. So do we try to relax, or do we praise ourselves for having instincts that are going to save our life someday? Relax or safe? 1 or 2? What shall we do? Chat, tell me. Tell me true. Rhyme intended. Not a very good one, mind you. I'm no poet. We don't talk about the emo poetry I wrote in my 20s. Not gonna talk about it. 2, we're super cool. Wow, sorry, awkward. You voted first for once. I'm very proud. 1-ish. Not so much that we're safe, is that she's a pretty strong magic user and this is her territory. If she wants to hurt us, she wins. That's very valid point, Trav. She is the enchantress, after all, and she lives out here by herself. Or so we've heard. Which means she ain't no slouch with her magic. What do you think, Winter Fairy? 1 or 2? Do we relax, or are we paranoid as F? Anyone else in chat may also weigh in, of course. I love my lurkers, don't get me wrong. Voting is optional, but I also like talking to my chat. So, whether you lurk or whether you vote is up to you, but I love to hear from all y'all. All y'all are nice. So, 1 or 2, relax or paranoia? Because so far the vote is tied, and if I have to make a decision, chat. Alright, we're gonna try to relax. The gate opens violently and rebounds with a loud thud, almost closing again. The creature in front of you is made of floating rocks that appear to be connected, but it's just an illusion. They could twist and bend in every direction. The eyeless sentinel faces you blankly. You've seen other golems in Hovlavin, endlessly helping with bothersome tasks, but you've no idea what makes them move. It lowers its slab-like hands and steps away, making way for you. Its head rotates, following your steps, but other than that, it's motionless as a statue. We enter the yard. The house in front of you has a huge entrance, just large enough for the golem. The building is whitewashed, but the lime is aged and damaged. The tools are spread around in no particular order. The rocks resting on top of the shed resemble the golems. The garden patches covered with herbs and vegetables are neglected. It's quiet here. Do we wander about or do we approach the sitting golem? Welcome back, Dragon. Nice of you to rejoin us. 1 or 2, do we wander about or do we approach the sitting golem? Wander or golem? 1 or 2. You guys tell me, what do we do? Dragon says, approach that sitting golem. What does the rest of chat want to do? Winter Fairy agrees. The golem is in the win. What does Trav and Sorry Awkward want us to do? Check it out. Better than wandering around here. I mean, we do not want to make this woman mad, that's for certain. Looks like the 2s have it, regardless of what Sorry Awkward wants. Ha ha ha. It seems dead, inactive, as city folk would call it. But the Numa still makes its chunks float less than an inch away from one another. It doesn't react to your presence. Unlike the previous golem, this one bears engraved signs on its larger rocks. Their meaning is unclear to you, and you can't tell if they're a decoration or carriers of a spell. A leaf of the door opens. Step closer. The woman is tall and stands upright, with her arms crossed and legs apart. She's more than 30, with a face touched by lack of sleep. She gives you a long look, observing your blade, hands, boots, forehead, everything but your eyes. I greet ye. Without the distortion caused by the gargoyle, her strong voice isn't as disquieting. No surprise that it caught your eye, but don't disturb it. It's very much awoken and will defend itself, or me, if it comes to it. I give her a better look. She's wearing a long, ragged robe covered in stains. It used to be blue, but now it's unevenly pale. She's barefoot, with skin covered with dust and dirt. Her dark hair was recently washed, but it's untidily spread on her shoulders, back, and chest. She wears no jewelry, belt, or buckles. So, what do we say? Ooh, Japanese food. Katsu curry and sushi? Nom nom nom. We could say something friendly. I'm glad you have spared a moment. I'm glad you have a moment to spare. I won't bother you for long. We could be playful. It takes quite a few hours to reach this place. I bet not many people come around. We could be distanced. Let's get to it. We could be intimidating and not say anything at all. We could be vulnerable. Thank you for agreeing to see me. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Friendly, playful, distanced, intimidating, or vulnerable. What shall we do, chat? How will we be towards this very powerful woman? Winter Fairy says 3, distanced. She wants us to just let's get to it. What does the rest of chat want to do? 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Friendly, playful, distanced, intimidating, or vulnerable. Well, it sounds like a very good treat. Dragon wants to be playful. It takes quite a few hours to reach this place. I bet not many people come round. Trav says 5. Not 2, though, because she's likely to tell us that it's the entire point. 5 is thank you for agreeing to see me. All right, sorry, awkward. We have a vote for 3, a vote for 2, and a vote for 5. You are welcome to tie it up with any other number, or you can actually give me a consensus. The choice is yours, my dude. Or girl, or person. Not entirely certain. We're friendly people. I have to pick. I'm glad you have a moment to spare. I won't bother you for long. I'm going invulnerable. It's the only one that says thank you. You are very playful, dragon. That is true. That is a true testament of you. She absently stares at your nose. If you're looking for help, you came to the wrong place. I don't make sacrifices for others. If you need to bother me, speak in the tongue of dragons and barter. It's not a sanctuary. I offer no bed or stew. She walks past you and cocks her head towards the golem who let you in. It turns around and shuts the gate. Good that you came at such an hour. Keep it up in the future. If you come here in the middle of the day, you'll stand outside looking at the doors like an ibex. We don't need more salutations, so... Her voice gets cold and harsh. Why are you here? Well, we got things. I'm looking for Astron. Nay, he's not here. Not even a mouse in my shed. She meets your eyes, yet her gray irises remain absent. Her sigh turns into a snort. Aught else? I'm just gonna do some. I'm gonna make decisions. Chat's all about making me make decisions. I'm just gonna make decisions. There's a lot to ask here, so I'm just gonna read, and we're gonna do that. I know. Be proud of me, people. I bring news from the west. Old Pagos is facing a grave plague. She stands still. Come again? While you describe the symptoms, she starts to fidget and finally interrupts you. Cut it. Have you heard aught about Eulalia and Iranius? They're about 50, 55, a mason and a sculptor. Her eyes are getting bad. He has a limp. I never entered the gate. She rubs her arms above her elbows as if to warm herself up. If ye ever ride there again... She meets your eyes. Ask around. Please, I need to know. Aw, I think that's her family. So what's your story? Why do you live so far from any village? She looks around. No. Fine. That's fine. I've heard about some bandits. Don't they bother you? She puts her hands on her sides and straightens up, displaying her unusual height. Is this another sick game of hers? If so, tell her I'm not interested either in her head or her offers. You notice the sudden movement of her golems. Okay. A few hunters recently left creeks and haven't returned so far. Damien, Admon, Vashkal, have you met them? Admon. He was here, all right. Asked me about the lands east of the stone bridge in the north, but I couldn't help him much. Those lands are better left to... She pauses, then waves it off. Okay. Photios sent me here to buy a spirit rock for his daughter. He hopes it's going to enhance Phoebe's pneuma. Oh, you don't want to try that. She grabs the ends of her hair. It would boil her blood and rip her skin apart. Each shell is like a bottle of Fornuma. It has its limits. You can train to contain more of it, like I've been doing for more than 20 years now, but there's no magical rock that's going to do it for you. But if you want, I can still sell it to you. I have some questions about your golems. She walks around the closest sentinel and observes it like a farmer would a donkey before a purchase. Isn't it clear what they are? Furniture that walks and works. They carry rocks and logs, hunt, kind of, and protect this place while I rest. What else is there to say? Do they talk? Eudocia still moves her lips, but her words are coming from the stone creature, which doesn't move an inch. No more than the gargoyle you've seen. The voice is deep, distorted by an echo. They don't need meat or bones and listen to my commands, but have no understanding of what's happening around them. To create a sentient creature, you'd need a human shell and a whole lot of necromancy. The golem raises its hands and shows you its palms. I'm not going to touch that. She then mentions that her creation isn't much of a messenger. It needs to remain close to her. Just look at it. The golem covers its non existent mouth. It has no eyes, snout, ears. Seeing the world through its head is like putting your eyeball into a rose bush. It takes pneuma, and the further away it is, the more exhausting it gets. How do you make one? I fill each rock with pneuma, bind them together. She pauses, then waves it off. You won't build one anyway. Like alchemists, enchanters have their own secrets, but I've got no way of sharing my talents with others. Is it for sale? One day, or so I hope. She points at the golem's hand. One wrong order and it'll tear your head away, or kick over a house. It won't ever be safe, but the dead make for bad customers, and I won't be blamed for others' stupidity. Her further answers come in great detail, but they're rather complex. From what you understand, she plans to invent a set of very specific commands that could be quickly learned, then bind them to a wand, binding it to the creature. I'm still not sure if it's the safe solution. If a wand was taken by a reaver, stuff could get ugly. Oh yes, she is very proud. And as are you, dragon. As are you. Yeah, golems and wands, very reminiscent of Dragon Age, actually. A certain expansion for the very first game definitely had a lot of that involved. It is Dragon Age Origins is one of my absolute favorite games of all time. I love the crap out of that game. Will I be playing it on this channel? Maybe someday. It takes up a lot of space, and I only have a laptop, so maybe someday. But I do love that game. It is aged now, but it's still one of my faves. One of my faves. It's so loud when it walks. Don't monsters react to its presence? She lets out a chuckle. They flee from them as they would trolls. They can't stalk their prey or jump on them from a bush, but when they don't move for long, beasts take them for rocks. It's not like they need to breathe. It just sits still, waiting for a roe deer to get close. The golem's eyes suddenly gets brighter. It jumps forward and punches the air. It lands with the sound of thunder. That's why I need them to be so large, the enchantress explains. I can't give them muscles. The speed I give them is pure pneuma. Being firm and heavy helps. She disregards your mention of the wrath of the herds. True, I make more mess than most humans would, but that's one of the reasons why I stay away from the villages. Being all alone, I give the beasts time to get used to my walls, and my sentinels know to stay away from unicorns and pebblers. That's fair. I saw some words on your golems. What do they mean? She looks at your right elbow. It's not, Warden. Decorations. Okay. What's with the gargoyle? Can't an enchantress show off her trophy? She gives you a proud smile. My sentinels took it down years ago. The tribe of Old Pagos is fond of statues, so I have my own, like in the old days, long before the monks came to the north. Seeing your puzzled look, she twirls her hair. A dead gargoyle on the road or by a village gate is meant to scare off evil spirits. I don't know about that, but its sight sure taught the local beasts who they're dealing with. What can you tell me about enchanting? She looks at your hands and starts to twirl her hair. Not really. I don't know how I do the stuff I do. As a kid, I put pneuma in my toys. I made my earthen sparrow fly, and my whistle gave a tune without being blown. I practiced for years, but by doing, not by understanding. She puts her hand on her hips and observes her clean nails. I can't teach stuff that's in my fingers or my eyes or my breath. It's just a part of me. Could you feel an item of mine with Numa? That's not how it works. She points at her golems. Her nails are short and clean, and her hands are soft. I work all the time, but each item takes me days, sometimes a full season. The tribes bring me things to enchant in the early spring and collect them a year later. I've got to. She blinks a few times, not sure what to say. Her gray eyes widen. Imagine stuff. It takes great focus. You mention that you generously reward her, but she only shrugs. You don't plant, you don't build. I won't eat dragon bones. For now, do your warden duties and come by the end of autumn. Maybe I'll have some time to get something done for ye after the thaws. What if I'm in desperate need? She rolls her eyes. Ye and everyone else. Have you ever been to the shortcut? Only once, she admits slowly, and it's not a good memory. Her brief tale is rather vague. She once had to use her golems to travel to the other side, seeking a remedy for her stomachache. The beasts were afraid of the noise they make. She points at the massive stone legs of her creations. But the monkeys in the far west were too dumb even for that. They kept throwing things at us, even poop. She pauses, making a disgusted grimace. We couldn't reach them or scare them away. You ask what happened next, but she crosses her arms. I was told it's better to ignore them, let them get used to one's sight. But my stomach was better already, so we just took the long way back. I want to learn more about the peninsula. I'm not selling gossip, nor am I buying it. I have my hut, my guards, and my lake. I'm an artisan, not an innkeeper. If you need one, ride south to Pelt of the North. The keeper is stiff like a broom, but offers a nice room. Her voice is dripping with annoyance. Or, if you'd rather visit a cheerful place, ride north to Foggy Lake. Or was it Foggy's Lake? Whatever. Foggy is the innkeeper. At least she's not as boring as the other guy. I need a place to rest. Can I spend a night here? Even though she draws out her words with frustration, she speaks with ease, as if she's reciting a memorized speech. I know how harsh the woods can be, but I don't offer shelter to travelers. I don't want to look behind my own shoulders for hours, or use my golems to protect ye. Travel north or south, look for a tavern or an inn. You'll find a safe hearth there. She blinks and crosses her arms. And we're both adults. Don't tell me that I could bind you with a rope or take away your blades. The less I have to touch ye, the better. That's fair. I'm looking for a job. She stands still for a moment, then cocks her head to the side. I've got some stuff that could use another hand. Yep, for some danger, if it comes to it. You nod and ask what sort of creature is bothering her. Nah, I meant riding and climbing. If you can do it without grabbing that axe of yours, fine. Now give me a moment. She opens one of the heavy doors to her house, and you catch a glimpse of a messy bed and a floor covered with clothes. After a minute, she shows up with a large sack filled with rods made of smooth, clean bronze. Here's the gist of it. I need you to get to 8 spots across the peninsula. High buildings, trees, mountainsides. I don't really travel much. She lets out a confident chuckle. So I can't hold your hand. I need one of them in White Marshes, in the wetlands, far east of here. Other than that, you need to keep your eyes open. She takes one of the rods. Once you reach a good spot, place one of these as high as you can. I'll pay ye in dragons. 2 for each one, but place at least 4 before you come see me. I need as many of them out there as possible. So far, so good. What are they for? Well, there's magic in them, as you can imagine. You weigh a rod in your hand. Even though it's more than 2 feet long, it's light, empty inside. You could bend it on your knee. The bag also contains a long hemp cord and a scrap of cloth. If I were to send my golems away, let's say a mile or 2 from here, they'd stop moving at all, waiting for me to show up. She approaches the nearest sentinel and touches its chest. They carry similar rods inside, so the plan is to give my orders better range, so to speak. I'm tired of depending on hirelings, especially since they no longer stop by. She leans against the golem with her arms crossed. Questions. How much time do I have? Oh, don't worry about it. She dusts off the golem's arm. Let's say before the leaves turn yellow. Some of the locals may not be happy with me putting bronze rods on their rooftops. She gives you a puzzled look. Wardens do have their ways to get on people's good side, correct? So, we could negotiate I may be forced to pull some strings to get it done. 2 dragon bones won't be enough. Or, and I can be sure that you've no plans to raid the villages with an army of unstoppable sentinels, right? Or we have a deal. 1, 2, or 3. Negotiate, be sensible, or we have a deal. Dragon says negotiate, which is got this die here, which may not go well for us, Dragon, just FYI. But the vote has started with 1, negotiate. Sorry Awkward says 1, roll the charisma die. The 1s are in the lead. What does the rest of chat think? Trav, Winter Fairy, weigh in. Ooh. We're tempting fate today. Winter Fairy says 1. Let's see if we can't negotiate a better price. Trav, what do you think? I always like to hear your thoughts on things. Our appearance is worse than terrible. Serious penalties. 2. It's true. It's true. Let's see how bad the penalties are, shall we? Cleanliness. I mean, we have no cleanliness, but we actually don't have any penalties. We're just gross. This only helps with physical struggles. This only helps with physical struggles. This helps with combat. Yep, we don't have any bonuses, but it doesn't look like we have any penalties either. The 1s have it. You've been playing Baldur's Gate, huh? So your brain is going go big or go home mode today? Got it. Well, here we go. We're gonna try. We're gonna negotiate. You haggle for a bit, but her distrust is like a wall. She waves your arguments off. I'm not a merchant. I don't gather coins for the thrill of it. I'm putting almost 20 dragons on the table here. Should be enough. Do all 8 rods, and I may prepare aught else for ye. And I can be sure that you've no plans to raid villages with an army of unstoppable sentinels, right? Her gray eyes give you a long, disquieting look. You could swear it's getting colder here. I won't ask you to trust, and I don't need it. Either help me or leave the rods and do your own stuff. All right, we have a deal. She avoids your eyes. Great, just don't die on the road. This bronze cost me many favors, and be sure to leave one of the rods in White Marshes. Why did you ask me to place a rod in White Marshes specifically? Is it because of the undead? I know. Why? She scratches the ground with her foot, then points at her golem. I still need to do a bit of work with the sentinels, but I hope to offer one of them maybe in the spring. It could replace 10, 20 humans. The villagers may not have much food right now, but I know how to be patient. 1, 2, or 3. Deals with necromancers, awoken corpses, or pragmatism. 1, 2, or 3. Dragon starts the vote off with 1. Trav says 2. Winter Fairy says 3. We like necromancers. Yep, odds are that she will say she wants to replace them. Sorry, Awkward. Regardless of what you vote, 1, 2, or 3, you get to be the majority. Assuming your keyboard is in working order. One, 2, or 3, what shall it be? Sorry, Awkward, you tell me. On the phone with the keyboard people. I made so many decisions and now you're making me make one more? Dastardly. Such dastardliness. Alright, well, they have quite a bunch of awoken corpses, you know. She moves her hair behind her shoulders. All I can do is hope they know when to stop. Alright, do you have anything interesting to sell? Well, I'm not a trader. I do the stuff people ask me about, and they're not for sale. She glances at the house, then towards a pocket in her hips. But there's one tool I'm willing to part with, for 11 bones, but it's for spellcasters only. She reaches out to you. On her open palm, you see a flat, small pebble, bluish, but in no way unusual. You put it in your mouth and press it to your palate. No chewing, she smirks. If you're a sorcerer, it will restore Yanuma. Why a pebble? Wouldn't a potion be easier to use? Do I smell of smoke and mushrooms? I'm not going to play around with flasks and amblix. She shakes the rock. This one won't break, won't scatter, won't spoil. Perfect for a traveler or any buyer, really. She steps away and adjusts her dirty robe. It works, and it won't hurt you if you're smart with it. It's a lifesaver. I'll think about it. Ah. Oh, nice, dragon. That's fantastic. Congrats on the 30-pound card. Yeah, I know that Magic the Gathering has decided to do some Lord of the Rings stuff. I found a barren field that may be affected by a curse. Do you have anything I could use to see if I'm right? A cursed field? Where did you find this stuff? As you explain briefly, she observes your boots. I know the place, but she steps away and approaches the garden patch by her house. She observes it for a moment, then kneels down, paying no attention to her robe, and reaches for a wooden spade. What she digs out looks like a tree sapling with 2 leaves that are as large as a hand and a thin elastic stalk. It's shorter than your head. Would you look at that? Still green. Give me 2 dragons and I'll put it in a bag with soil. It should survive at least a couple of days. How does it work? She straightens up. Well, you plant it, of course. Wait for half an hour and you'll see. If it grows an inch, she frowns, raises the plant to her eyes and grunts. Forget it. If it bursts into bloom, the soil is enchanted. If it withers, it's cursed. Stays the same? No Numa. She lowers it again. Just be careful when you do it. It loves frogs. So it's a plant that grows by magic. Yes, and it costs 2 dragons. Why do you even have such a thing? Are there many magic fields around? What? No, she snorts. But these plants are the only stuff I can think of right now. I'm trying to make a plant that grows without sunlight, using just water, soil, and Numa. I'll know I'm there once it starts to bear fruit. She glances at your nose. I swear, don't even mention mushrooms. You ask her about the purpose of all this, but she just plays with her hair and looks towards the gate. Just a hobby of mine. I'll think about it. Need aught else? Yep, I don't have the coinage for anything. So we must seek shelter. Yep, the closest place to be is the abandoned watchtower. So we are going to go there. We broke. Broke is a joke. Well, enjoy your lurk, dragon. I'm always happy to have you here, whether you lurk or not. It's always appreciated when you come to my stream. Yes, there are cards in that particular new set that are worth more, but 30 pounds is nothing to snort at. Like, 30 pounds is still a good investment. And yes, we are broke as a joke. All right, to travel we go. We must make haste. The watchtower is blending with the wilderness slowly. There are small creatures ahead of you, not larger than a hare, running from one side of the road to the other. Before you get to the crossroads, they vanish among the shrubs and bushes, which are now rustling and shaking disquietly. You shall enter the tower. Ooh. You're at the ground floor of the watchtower. Dozens of little creatures run away from the new source of light. We could open the trap door and leave a bronze rod on the roof, and I think we will. You climb up the ladder and push the trap door with one hand. The planks are thick, and as they fall down under their own weight, they make a loud thud. You find a crack between 2 of the bricks and use the rod to widen it a bit. You push it halfway in and fill the gaps with a linen cloth. You move it a couple of times just to be sure it won't detach. You wonder if it's going to lure any lightning. And then we climb down. All right, it is time to sleep because we've got 2 hours before dusk, and I don't want to get caught out at night. It's dangerous. Time for the sleep. So we will be dirtier, and we will be hungry. But the palate is buggy and far from fresh, but with your cape, it's going to be soft. The thick walls will protect you from the wind and monsters. Time to sleep. We don't have any way of getting rid of the bugs at this time. A scratching from the lower floor wakes you up. You get out of the blanket and look down the ladder. The main door shakes. Just in case, you open a window and glance outside. A pale, muscular fright ape tries to open the entrance with its massive hands, but to no avail. After it hears the screeching of a shutter, it looks at you with its dead black eyes, then grabs one of the bricks and bounces up, shortening the distance quickly. You lock the window with every bolt and bar it has, just in time to keep the shouting monster away. The ape punches the planks fiercely, then climbs even higher, looking for another entrance, but is incapable of recognizing the trap door. And after another few minutes, you think it gave up. Hey, Nikki. Welcome in, welcome in. I'm actually nearing the end of my stream, but thanks for jumping in. I haven't actually had anyone from the VIP server come say hi yet, so thanks for the follow as well and helping me get to affiliate. I'm so close. So yeah, we're having a great stream. Roadwarden is by Moral Anxiety Studios is a fun time so far. So I hope that your work keeps you busy and it makes the day pass by and feel free to participate in the votes. We have a vote right now. So, in this time of sleep, we can breathe a sigh of relief and get back to sleep. We can also inspect every window and the main entrance just to be sure we can keep the creatures of the night out, or we smile and it will take a dragon to knock down this tower. So, 1, 2, or 3. Relief, inspect, or smile. What shall it be, chat? I depend on you to make decisions for me because decisions are hard. Winter Fairy has started off the vote with 2. Inspect the windows and the main entrance to make sure the fright ape cannot get in. What does the rest of chat think? Tell me, chat, tell me true. What is it that we shall do? Rhyme intended. Trav also agrees to check and double check the windows and the main entrance, like the paranoid person that we are. We're a road warden. We are on our own, except for our horse. We must be sure we do not die out here. What does the rest of chat think? One more person weigh in, and I will go with the consensus, which is currently the 2s. The 2s are winning. Well, it looks like the 2s have won, seeing as nobody else is available to say so. Alright, just to be sure, I inspect every window and the main entrance. Whew. We made it, guys, we made it. We're still gross, but we made it. You open your eyes and there's an unpleasant tingling on your cheek. You reach for what it turns out to be a small bug. You throw it away and look around, only to see dozens of tiny creatures swarming on the floor and the bed, as well as your blanket, clothes, and bags. You push some of them away, gather your things, with thoughts still clouded by dreams. You gather your things and look through the bags, removing as many insects, worms, and spiders as you can find. Yeah, they were only hiding from the light, and when we turned the light out to sleep, well, bugs. Soda Pop is observing you patiently, unmoved by the commotion. You walk it outside and allow it to graze on the grass for half an hour. In the meantime, you equip it with your writing set and use the sunlight to double check your belongings. The thought that no matter how scrupulous you are, you may keep finding new creatures in your food doesn't leave you alone. Yikes. All right. So we're gonna go. We can go and see Eudocia again, but we don't really have any reason to talk to her. So we're gonna go south. We're not going west because west is, well, I mean, we have enough time to run through, but it's a death trap, and we'd like to connect to the south. So we're going south. Yeah, we have no cash. To the south. We broke. Broke as a joke. Ooh. A round pine tree blocks the road. For a wayfarer, walking over the thin branches at the top is not much of an issue. Even Soda Pop, led on a rope, could walk around the stump, but a large wagon couldn't move onward in one piece. At least not without detaching the mules, unpacking all the wares, and moving everything by hand. Cutting a tree into pieces would take hours, even with proper tools, and you can't hope to move it with just the muscles that you and your mount have to offer. So, do we want to look around? Do we spend some time setting up a fish trap at the bank? But the first thing we're going to do, regardless, is wash ourselves in the river because we're gross. The river is full of life, not only a bit brown and greenish, but also smelling of algae. It won't help you much. The oak ash soap, the teeth set, and the perfume you own can help you get cleaner. We will wash our shell carefully because that's much better. You scare away a few frogs, crouch by the bank, and draw handfuls of water. All right. We are going to uh look around or fish trap. So the vote has started with look around. One or two, look around or fish trap. What shall we do? Chat, you tell me. It is nearing the end of the stream, so look alive, people. We're almost done here. I have the ones are winning. We want to look around. Sorry, awkward even agrees. All right, look around it is. What do you investigate? I'm gonna just go down the list. I'm going to investigate the surrounding area. You walk deeper into the wilderness, searching through the shrubs, the trees. You don't find any side paths, nor remains of a camp or a hamlet. The first game trail you find has been used exclusively by animals. You'll look at the tree. The leaves are not completely dry, and when you break one of the twigs, it still contains water. There are no signs of sickness that you can recognize, and the termites and other bugs are still sparse beneath the trunk. There's no blood, no abandoned limbs. The stump. You don't find any marks of a maw or paws. The top is hip high and unnaturally smooth. You could comfortably sit down on it. The tracks. In the trampled grass, you find two sets of tracks to follow. There are no hoof prints. The first set is near the destroyed wagon. The wayfarers suddenly stopped. You can see where they made a sharp turn. The second trail is close to this tree stump. Most of the marks were left by flat, cheap boots, not suitable for long walks, but someone was wearing hard, wide heels, distorting the ground. Both trails avoid the eastern wilderness. They stick to the main road and lead you north. They could have belonged to 24 people, maybe more. You follow them for a bit and lose them once there's no more mud and tree needles to find. The wagon. The planks are still firm and there's no mustiness in the air, but the vehicle needs just a push to fall to pieces, like a child's toy with nothing to keep the parts together. There are ways to construct a wagon with just wood, leather, and fiber, but you find the marks of hinges, braces, nails, and clamps, which are now all gone. The wheels are missing their steel rims. You find only one linen bag, empty and moist. You can't estimate how deep the tracks are. The ground was hard, so the cart's weight wasn't a significant factor. The river. It would only take 2 steps to disappear in the deep water. The rocky bank smells fresh and is filled with the sound of frogs, insects, and birds. It's not a good spot to quench your thirst. The beds of long kelp pulled by the flow of the river are crowded with fish and four-legged creatures that you don't even recognize. You keep an eye on the land. There's no carcass in sight, and no signs of shells that would be left nearby. The bushes. Oh, we found an arrow. There are no berries left, only broken twigs, fallen leaves, and trampled grass. You notice a pointy arrow made by a human hand, with a head made of horn and black-orange fletching. You don't know what type of bird would have such feathers. You see no arrow marks around, not even on the wagon. Black and orange fletching. We know where that was made. The Western Hill. The rocky wall wasn't much of a challenge. The top of the hill is covered with short grass and sparse trees. You notice a couple of bushes with a good view of the road, just next to the remains of a campfire. The charred pieces of wood, ash, bird bones, trampled grass, and a broken earthenware bottle. You follow the deepest tracks leading to the edge of the soft earth. Someone jumped down, or at least stopped stepping on the grass. The road. The road here is already being overgrown, fading away, but it's in no worse shape than the other parts of the southeastern route. No alternate path is formed around the blockade. Is there something that we want to take another look at, or do we think we know what happened here? Chat. If there's something else you want to look at again, let me know. Otherwise, do we think we know what happened here? Discuss, please. Talk to me. Tell me your thoughts. Sorry, Awkward says, we know. Well, you know, you've played this game like 4 times. The rest of us, on the other hand, might only think we know. Winter Fairy says we know what happened here. But really, it's an open discussion, Winter Fairy. What do you think happened? Oh, I personally don't know, but I thought the others did. Fair. Trav says one of the hunters dude came this way, got ambushed by something, a valiant fight. Some reinforcements came and the hunter escaped. The tree didn't survive. Indeed, indeed. I think this might be a bandits thing, to be quite frank. But I do not know that we knew of a cart coming to this area. This could be a cart from the south, from Havlavin. Could be anything, really. Could also, in fact, be from Creeks. We do know that the arrow we found is from Creeks, or at least was made in Creeks. Or was it Gale Rocks? Actually, it might have been made in Gale Rocks. My apologies. Yeah, Gale Rocks. It was made by the Fletcher and Gale Rocks because they color their fletching depending on what it's used for. I believe the orange and black is for people. Yeah. I corrected myself, but thank you, Trav. I appreciate you. We think we know what happened here. Let's go. What do you think has happened here? Actually, I have second thoughts. It was cut down to set up an ambush. It was broken by a monster. It was broken by the wind. It's dying from an illness, or it's impossible to tell. Okay. I'm not even going to make us vote. We all know that it was cut down to set up an ambush. Like, yeah. Absolutely. That is the way. Why was the wagon abandoned? It was attacked by monsters? No. The owners had no time to move it, so they left it behind? Probably. It was attacked by highwaymen? More than likely. It broke and the owners weren't able to fix it? I don't think so. It's impossible to tell. So highwaymen or left behind? I'm pretty sure this was an attacked by highwaymen situation. So I'm going to go with that. What was originally transported on the wagon? Some valuable merchandise, someone's belongings, passengers, food supplies. It's impossible to tell. I'm going to say some valuable merchandise. because I'm pretty sure that's why it was being headed this way. Valuable merchandise. What happened to the owners of the wagon? They were taken north, they were killed on the spot, they disappeared in the wilderness, they turned back. It's impossible to tell. From the clues that we have, I would say they were either taken north or they turned back. Not entirely certain. We don't have any blood or bodies around, and it would be foolish to disappear into the wilderness this far north. What do we think? North or back? North or back? That is the vote to chat, because I can't decide between. North or back? That's fair. That is fair. It looks like we've got 2 votes for north, so I'm going to go with that. They were taken north. You think that the tree was cut down to set up an ambush. The cart, which transported some valuable merchandise, was attacked by highwaymen. Its owners were taken north. Are you sure this is most likely what happened? I could have second thoughts and go through the clues again. Or I could decide I'm sure. Chat, do we have second thoughts, or are we sure? Sorry, awkward, don't give it away. I know you know. But you're welcome to, hint. Don't make it obvious. Just nudgy nudge. Just a nudgy nudge hint. A nudgy nudge hint would be like, second thoughts might be a good idea. It's quite possible that the cargo was food. It just, from what we read, I didn't have any real idea about what was in the cart. When we checked over the cart, it was mostly, oh, hey, the iron was all stolen. Sorry, Awkward says it seems reasonable. So I think we're sure. Let's go. While you can't be sure of what really happened here, you don't think there's much left for you to find. Let's hope you haven't missed anything. So we can have second thoughts about the investigation even still. Or we can spend some time setting up a fish trap on the bank. Shall we set up our fish trap here? What do we think? Fish trap, yes or no? That's 2 votes for fish trap. All right, we're going to set it up here. Do it. You place the basket on the ground, then grab a bowl and start digging, looking for a few larger worms. You bait the stick and push it inside the basket, locking it in between the sides. Then cover the entrance with the lid. Tying it together takes you a few good moments, but will be easier later on. You tie the rope to a rock and push it in the river, far enough that it sinks entirely. Who knows how long it will take before something large enough swims inside. Still, it would be better not to wait too long, otherwise the prey may die of hunger. All right. And off we go into the wide world. We have connected things around. I'm going to go to the southern crossroads and see if we can't pick up food there. And then we're going to do a circuit. We've got places to go and people to talk to. You follow the overgrown trail between the dolmen and the southern crossroads, but it got even more difficult than a few days back. You look at the fallen branches and a few trampled shrubs that are blocking the road. The large paw, a few blood trails, and scraps of fur tell a story of a long clash between dangerous beasts. From now on, riding through this spot is going to take you even more time. However, we've got time, so we're going to spend an hour or so clearing the path, just because it will make it easier for us. Turns out a few of the plants were already dried out and are not too heavy. You get a bit sweaty, but unless another misfortune happens, the path should stay in pretty good shape. Let's get back in the saddle. We had time. A flock of rooks and crows flees the crossroads. The bushes are rustling. A wolf carcass is fresh, and so are the boot prints. Ooh, ooh, we are investigating. A wounded human, either of a large shell or with heavy equipment, has reached this spot from the south, shuffling with one foot. The wolf, lured by the scent of blood, ran through the shrubs, breaking a few twigs, but the few stabs it received were deadly precise, reaching their organs. The fighter turned west. We're going to follow the boot prints. This is probably one of the hunters. Oh, they made it. The yard is stained with coughed out blood. The trail leads to the building. The hunters are tense, with weapons at hand, looking at you as if you're bringing them answers. You are approached by Dalit. You heard? The lieutenant from Hag Hills fled from her camp. She would be dead without our potions. What happened? A troll. There's a hint of shame in her voice. She says she stopped it, but not before it tore the other soldier to pieces. Better to speak with her. Uh-oh. Tulia is the only one left. The innkeeper greets you with a nod, then his eyes lead you to the bench in the corner. Tulia is sitting with her head resting against the wall, heavily breathing, with clean bandages on her neck, arm, and leg. Next to her are 3 small bottles, all of them open, but your nose catches no scent of ale. Her gameston is on the floor, now more of a rag than an armor. As you sit down next to her on a stool, she opens one eye, then another. Her smile is empty. Tell me about the attack. There isn't much to say. It came in the early hours. We threw and shot at it anything we could. After it broke through the gate, I had one last arrow left. My subordinate, her voice is bigger, gave me time to aim, and now he's gone. Did you manage to burn the other soldier? The sorrow in her eyes makes the shake of her head redundant. I found this wax tablet. Do you recognize it? She opens it and takes a quick glance. Well, it's from Havlavin. Asteron and my lieutenant were the only people I've seen with green tablets like this one, and the locals don't write chronicles. She gives it back. I can't read. Better look for a priest of the right. Good call. Do you still have my reward, or is it back at the camp? After her brief scowl, she looks down and shakes her head, snickering weakly. I knew you would ask me that. Yeah, it's all there. I took everything of value with me. Summer is almost over. We should soon travel back to the city. She shrugs. Well, if any city rat is going to criticize me for getting out of here before the end of my watch, they can jump into the sea for all I care. I can head back whenever. Take another look at the main hall. The open windows fill the hall with refreshing air and the sounds of conversation. The innkeeper is dusting the counter and the shelves with the cloth. Tulia is sitting on the corner, flinching at every loud noise. Go to the innkeeper. I'm gonna ask for some leftovers. Not today. Okay. Right. Do I have anything you'd like to buy? What can we get for the cask? 7 coins. Do we take the 7 coins or do we try to sell it elsewhere? Wonder Fairy says deal. Deal or no deal, my chat. Deal or no deal. What are we doing? This is the last choice of the game. Trav says deal, and then we can go buy that plant. All right. Sorry, Awkward, what do you think? Is this a good price, or can we find better? Deal. All right. Deal it is. We got money. Cool. So that's it. We're gonna save our game. We're gonna end here for this stream. So thank you guys for joining us. It was lovely to have all of you. Thanks, Nikki Larson, for joining us as well. I stream, generally speaking, outside of the week of vacation I took for my birthday that I've just finished. I stream Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern US time. If you are not in the Eastern US, please ask Google what equivalent time it would be in your time zone. As today is Thursday, tomorrow will be the last day I stream this week. Another short week, primarily because I had vacation in the middle of it. Thank you guys so much for joining us. I do not believe I have any friends to raid. I raid my friends. I know I could be more active on the VIP server, but I'm not. I'm terrible. So, yeah. We will discuss raids another day, but I have no one to raid today, so we're going to end it here. And I hope everyone has a fantastic rest of their day, and I hope that I will see everyone tomorrow at 1 Eastern US time. Until then, take care, guys. I have enjoyed this. I missed this while I was on vacation, so I will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.